Good afternoon. Good morning.
Sunny New Jersey. All right.
Sunny New Jersey. That's where I am.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Hi, Lori. St. Louis.
We're going to get started in 1 minute. If you just put your name and where you're from in the chat, we'll get started here in just a second.
South Georgia.
Oh yeah. Boys and Girls Clubs representing. East Tennessee. Very good.
Tennessee.
We're dotting the country.
All right. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Let's get started. Hello, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Seary, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning at Foundations, Inc. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. This is our Beyond School Hours National Education Conference follow-up webinar series. Before we get started with our webinar today, I just want to give you a little bit of background about Foundations, Inc. We are a national education nonprofit. We're located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and our mission is to improve the quality of education by building the skills of educators. And we do this work across the school day. So we work with after-school programs, we work with schools, districts, and states to create a brighter future for every child every day. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Foundations, take a minute to follow us on social media. Paula, who's our tech producer, will put that information in the chat. And you might already know us from our signature professional learning experience, Beyond School Hours Conference. Our conference is held each year in February. And in 2022, we're so excited. We're going to be back in Orlando at the Caribe Royale, and we hope that everyone will join us there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are really excited today because today we present the Vendorina show with our host, Renny Nieves, with our Beyond School Hours exhibiting coordinator, and she's also affectionately known by our exhibitors as Vendorina. Today's Vendorina's guest features William Albert, CEO and founder of STEMfinity. Bill is a frequent conference presenter, exhibitor, our sponsor. So we're glad that he's able to spend some time with us today. So let's get started. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Excited to be part of this. This is the original one, right? It's the first one to kick off.
This is the first one. You're our first guest on the Vendorina show.
At least there's no pressure, right? That way, I don't have to
No
like
pressure.
follow suit. Yeah, very good.
Exactly.
I like that. So we'll just make it very simple and down to earth, and have a good time here the next 45 minutes or so.
That's right.
But,
It's nice
yeah.
to see you, Bill. It's been a while.
Yes, I know. I usually count my Vendorina hugs to kind of get me through.
I
You know,
know.
I know.
Here you go.
That's I think we all miss, you know,
Yes.
the interaction and the chance to talk one-on-one. But
February
like I said,
2022.
February,
We'll be back
Orlando.
in Orlando.
and you can count on us there. So we'll be there, and hopefully all the participants today will be
Yes.
there as well. So
Yes, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring you back, all the way back, Bill,
Oh no.
to your childhood. We're gonna bring you back to your childhood. Were you always interested in STEM?
For the most part, yes. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, actually between 2 wheat fields. So grew up on a farm in Eastern Oregon. And well, it was wheat and peas and garbanzos. And so growing up in the middle of nowhere, you have to be creative to, you know, kind of have some fun. So I would always, you know, have my Hot Wheels, my Legos, play with the dirt all day, every day. And I had a little infatuation with tractors, all the different harvest equipment. And so I would, from an early age, be out there wanting to participate and drive anything and everything that was around. So did that, but then that kind of took a seat to sports. So I took a big liking to sports and participated all the way up into college level basketball, and it was a fun ride there. But shortly after my graduating college, got right back into STEM, working with a company called PCS Adventures.
Yeah,
they did a lot of curriculum with Lego. So yeah, it's been around it much of my life. As you know, or many people actually don't know, but STEM is an integral part of farming. So I mean, every aspect of the soil, like chemistry involved, like engineering involved, technology. So there's a lot of components there in farming that I learned, growing up out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. And then what made you decide to start your own company, to start STEMfinity?
Well, I had, like I mentioned before, I worked for a company called PCS Adventures, and I would do trainings around the US for educators on, primarily after school educators, on Legos. And so showing them how Legos can be used teaching engineering and science. And I was looking for, I don't know, basically more making STEM more accessible was kind of my overall goal. At the time, the components we had there at PCS were rather large and expensive. And so looking for more ways to find individual kits that can involve students from all walks of life. So, and I've always thought too, it takes exposure to these kits. And so what better way to do that than building with your hands? And so exposure, accessibility. And so started out with a bunch of inexpensive science kits, because when I first started, STEM wasn't really a thing yet.
Right.
So I knew it was in the forefront, it was going to be coming down the road. And so it's been fun being an early adopter of that, starting STEMfinity early on and watching that wave continue to grow.
Okay. And then speaking of STEMfinity and how you started, what's your proudest moment and your favorite story about reaching kids and educators?
This one, that's a tough one for me to pinpoint. I've been blessed having been part of many experiences throughout the country, throughout the world. This job, which I don't really consider a job, it's a passion, has taken me to Brazil, Germany,
Wow.
all over the world, and on to things like the NBC Today show. But those are fun experiences. But like I said, the overall goal is to make sure STEM was accessible. So the end goal is to make sure that these students are engaged, having fun, ultimately learning, and that they'll take these the steps to explore a STEM career down the road. So I would say that's the most fulfilling part for me, is watching these kids actually just love what they're doing and being creative and building and constructing, and just using that love for learning and exploring new things. So I can't pinpoint one scenario.
Do you have any favorite products that you
products?
carry?
Well, I'm not supposed to. I like to be able to offer the world of STEM resources. Hence, you can see the sign, the one-stop STEM shop. Yes, we have 10,000 STEM products from pre-K to high school, and that's been interesting watching over the years, because we started out with I started out with 250 kits early on, and it's expanded to but we had about 50,000 for a little while, but that's when everybody was just throwing the word STEM on the products and not having any substance to it. So we quickly learned we needed to be vetting these resources, and so we reduced it down to 10,000 quality STEM resource that we offer. And so of those 10,000, I do have some favorite brands that I think would be fun to show. And one is called Strawbees, and I think I might have emailed you a little earlier, a little video on that. I'm not sure if you got that or not, but it's
Can we do a demo? Do we have a
Yeah.
do we have a video demo for strawberries?
And if not, I can give you a quick description. So strawberries is, I mean, the key part of that word is straw. So there's actually using straws to let the kids explore and build and construct. And so for STEM, oftentimes we add the A, which is the arts, which is a pretty key part for learning and critical thinking. So we actually have these STEAM after school packs that let the students build all sorts of things with straws and these connectors. And so you can imagine the creativity in the arts, you know, where they can create their own unique activities or robots or whatever you want. And the great thing too with straws is that they're relatively inexpensive. So they can do a lot of things with those. And it's a relative, I wouldn't say relatively new, but it's the curriculum and the activities that they provide are relatively new. So those are some new ones that we have. And I'm not sure, I passed along a video earlier. Hopefully we can play that here.
Yeah, I don't know if she can play it, but I know that she did put it in the chat box.
Okay.
Maybe she can play it later. I'm not sure. But if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask.
All good. So that's one. Strawberries, make sure you check them out. They have a variety of kits, whether it's individual use or for, like I said, a whole after school program or summer camp. So that's one. Oh, here we go. Let's see here.
Here we go.
Look at that. Love technology. I'll shut up now. So a quick little video on what you can do there.
It reminds me of the old-fashioned erector sets.
Oh yeah. And actually did you play with erector sets when you were growing up?
Yeah, I did.
A little bit?
A little bit when I was really young.
So tell me, what was your favorite toy growing up?
My favorite toy growing up probably it could have been Legos.
Mm-hmm.
Legos.
So Lego. Yeah,
and believe it or not, the simple game of jacks. You remember the jacks games?
Mm-hmm.
It's those simple little games, jacks and jump rope.
It's games like that I mean, you think about it, you flash back and it brings a smile and
sitting on the step outside playing with my aunt, playing jacks. Don't step on one of those though.
But see, that's teamwork, collaboration, game play. I mean, there's a lot of communication involved in those, and that's where I think if you can utilize games or Legos, a lot of people consider a toy, but we call them a scientific tool. But using things like that, the kids, we kind of use it as a bait, and then from there the kids can, explore and expand. But Legos are definitely another one. But there's one that I like. Did you ever play with cardboard, like cardboard boxes?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See, it's funny because I'm sure, I don't know if you had pets growing up, but any dog or cat, you have an empty box or kid, they'll play in the empty box more than they will whatever's in the box. Yes. So there's actually another favorite tool I have at STEMfinity is called Make Do. And it's kind of like make do with what you got. But it basically has these little connectors with cardboard. And so you have to source the cardboard, but it has the tools to connect the cardboard together. So it allows the kids to build a whole range of fun experiments with. And once again, relative, inexpensive because it's just cardboard. And I think I shared another video for that. So we'll pop that up here. Oh yeah, see, doesn't that make you want to go dive into a cardboard box and recreate it?
Yes, I want to go home and play with cardboard boxes now, not recycle them yet.
And I believe from our past discussions, you have a knack of being an artist yourself. Is that correct?
Um, Maybe. I kind of
Maybe.
discovered it late in life. I'm almost an empty nester. I have my last child in my house, and right before the pandemic started, I started refurbishing furniture, or whatever I found, whatever I bought at Goodwill or at flea markets. And yeah, I started painting furniture and just redoing them. And I actually sold 2 pieces on
You
Etsy.
did.
Congratulations
on
Everything else I kept though. So these are some of the pieces that I did. One of them my granddaughter has, which is the little pink dresser. The lamp I kept, the old school china cabinet I kept, and the tables on the right I sold, which now I
Those
wish I
are
would have kept.
Amazing work.
Thank
Renee.
you.
I mean, Vendorina.
Thank you. It was fun, relaxing.
Well, and sometimes that's where hands-on activities or
Yes.
art, artistic things like that, just take your mind off things, unless you just chill and be creative. And
yeah,
and I think that's what a lot of our students are needing, especially over the past year plus. Just being on technology time, just get them hands-on with things like that and let them explore and expand. And I'm glad that you found the artistic side. It doesn't matter when, but you still found it. And
found it. I was late in life, but I found it.
Because it is like, whether do you do woodwork as well, or is it
woodwork? No. I just make old ugly things pretty.
Well, I figured because I saw dressers and stuff, so I thought maybe you'd have to maybe do some repair on some of the older furniture to make it work. So
yeah, but nothing major, no woodworking, just painting and starting all over because I didn't like the way that looked, and I strip it down and do it again. And
oh yeah, well,
yeah,
you'll have to maybe bring some a collection to Beyond School Hours
BSH.
Yeah. Maybe we can put that on, actually can do a presentation on that and how maybe students can do that. And that's actually brings up a good point. I'm not sure have you heard Makerspace before?
Yes, I think yes.
So makerspaces are typically like a open-ended learning environment. A lot of after-school programs have kind of picked it up, but there's one locally that's called a breaker space. And so they bring in all old technology stuff and they allow the students to break it apart, but it's technology that's either outdated or broken. So they would take it apart, and that's their after-school programs. They'd fix it, and then they would sell it back to the community. So something to consider there. So a breaker space.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I was going to say that maybe, or a remaker space where you find old furniture like that and do that. But no, I love what you've done there, and definitely exciting stuff. And going back to what you said about Lego, that's actually that's what got a big interest in STEM for me as well. Is I had a small Lego set growing up, just the basic bricks with some base plates, and that's where I got to be creative in building my towers and homes and forts and everything else. But that's something here we're very proud of at STEMfinity. We are actually Lego Education's after school and summer camp resource for Legos. So we've worked with them on creating different bundles and tools for Lego and making sure it fits well in that environment, and also for at-home learning. So I think I can't remember if I shared a video or if it was some other things there, but there's a new one called Brick Q.
Is it Brick Q?
Yep, Brick Q. Yep. So Brick Q, and what I love about it is that they, with all the things going on with the pandemic, they allow for kind of hybrid approach to learning. So instead of just being at home or virtual, they're able to do basically have these different family engagement packs and go out to the students at home, and then they have the bigger kits at the school or after school program. And so, but they have a lot of sports and different things involved with that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so physical science and sports, but we got a little video here so you can see more about it.
absolutely love Legos.
Oh yeah.
I love Legos.
See, we didn't have Legos like that growing up, though, did we?
No, no. We had the simple little ones. All my
Yep.
children went through Legos. I still have Legos in my house. I have the really big ones. I have the tiny ones.
Yep.
I love Legos. I
Oh
love
yeah,
Legos.
and as I'm sure you've seen too, with a lot of the after school programs, it's a big component for what they've been doing over the years. And like I said, when I first started in the after school space, I was calling on boys and girls clubs all around the country, trying to figure out ways to implement Legos into after school programs. So like I said, it's been 21 years now. That
Wow.
was my first gig.
Wow.
Yep.
So, what was the most important thing that you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before learning it?
That's a tough one. I would say that we all have one shot at this thing called life. And so to live it to the fullest, I don't know, I don't really tell many people, but I guess, we got a small group here, but I should have been dead probably 30 plus times over my life. And so I think just one time experiencing something like that, you learn to, live it to the fullest and enjoy things more, and you appreciate things more when it's nearly gone. So I think we can all, especially after COVID, I think we all, whether it's family or friends, experience things that aren't ideal, but it's part of life. So we've got this shot at it, live it to the fullest, and then also just to kind of inspire students to live that same way or same approach to life.
Yeah. And then, speaking of that, what was the best compliment you've ever received?
That's where, well, I'm sure you've been around me. You're tall. No.
Oh my God, are you tall?
That's, everybody says that to me, which I am. So it's like I just take it as a compliment because I'm used to it. But being 6'8", you just get used to hearing that. But compliment for me, I think the one that resonates with me the most is just my kids saying that they're proud of me. So I have 4 kids, the oldest one in college, youngest one in kindergarten. So the whole range. And had a gathering, it was like a year or two ago, and all of them said they're proud of me. So I guess that's that hits home.
Yeah. So
how about you?
Me what?
I'm gonna turn that question back around to you.
What's the best compliment I've ever received? I don't know. I think it has to do with my kids also. I thank God for my 4 children. They're all doing really well. They're all professionals. I have my last one who's graduating high school in 2 weeks. So just being a mom, I think is my, the best thing. And for me, and my kids telling me, Mom, you're even when they're mad at me, Mom, you're a good mom, you're this, you're that. So,
Well, I'm sure obviously you raised them up right, especially the last one heading out of the house here soon. So you guys have big plans with being empty nesters? You're just gonna head down to Puerto Rico or Jamaica for 2 years?
We have 4 dogs. We can't go anywhere.
There's dog sitters,
I know. We'll take it slow. I don't want my last one to leave the house yet. But there's a question for you. Are your kids into STEM too? So
ironically, my oldest, she's into marketing. That's what she's going to college for right now.
Isn't that how you started?
Yeah. So so STEMfinity's 10 years old. So actually March 31st of this year was our 10-year anniversary. And so we've yeah, so we've been able to, I mean, my oldest daughter's 20. So, being a 10-year-old and being right in the thick of it, but she was, I think maybe what steered her away from it is that I put her to work. So she was out there putting stickers on boxes, and so she got to see the not so fun side of STEM and the work involved. But yeah, she's going into marketing. My oldest son, he's been a tinkerer. He's definitely the first of my kids to be really into STEM. So he's actually graduating this year from high school and going on to be a lineman for, well, not football, but your power poles that you have at the line. Yeah, so he's going to be going to school for that. And I feel like the trades are a big thing these days, that there's a shortage of trades. And so he's can in a sense be an electrician, working on the big power poles. And then my younger two, I would say both are very much, they got to see the fun side of STEM. So, as a dad, I got to bring home the latest, greatest tools, and I got tested on them. So they're spoiled in that sense, and they love it. So I would say that my younger two will definitely be some sort of STEM field as well.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay.
But how about your kids? What realm have they gone into?
Well, my oldest, he was in the service for 20 years. He was
Appreciate service.
staff sergeant
Mm-hmm.
and military police. And he is now retired from the Army. And he is an air marshal, a federal air marshal.
Wow.
But don't tell nobody. I'm not supposed to say that out loud.
Top secret.
Yeah. And then my other children, I have two daughters, and they're both going to be estheticians. One of them is an esthetician. My youngest, I believe, wants to be an esthetician also. And my other son is in finance. He works in New York. So thank goodness they're doing well. Yeah, they're all doing well. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and definitely a lot of them are STEM, and that's where STEAM, it doesn't have to be just that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the big push for right now is because there's huge demand for those type of positions. But I think like I mentioned, the trades are very much needed, and I think have been kind of underappreciated over the years. So more and more kids, I think, should explore that path.
Right.
So
I agree. So does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Bill? And Bill, are you going to be anywhere where people can see you soon, or out at a conference somewhere? Or
well, like you guys mentioned to me earlier, I don't know if you want to see me at night. I'm typically clean shaven, got the high and tight haircut, but I don't know. I don't have any plans as of right now. This year, the earliest conferences that I have scheduled are going to be early January.
okay.
So, but we're now, I think as things open up, I'm willing to get on the road again. I think we're all excited to, like I say, instead of a virtual hug, being able to hug and say hi and learn more. I don't know, just interact with people in person is how I do best.
Yes. Well, you're going to be able to see Bill at our Beyond School Hours conference, which is going to be in February in Orlando, Florida. We're going to be at the Caribe Royale again. It's an amazing conference, so you guys need to come out and see Bill. And he always has a table with us, and he always sponsors us. And he is he's been with us for 15 years, I think. You've been exhibiting with us and presenting.
Yes, and so it was actually the first conference I ever went to for STEMfinity was Beyond School Hours when it was in San Francisco, and that was the very first go for STEMfinity, and I was there with Mango Math, and so that was our first attempt at conferences. I remember hauling all my kids down to San Francisco with all the trade show stuff.
It was like the land of the giants because they're all small.
Well, not that time. Well, some of them are, but yeah, at that time most were short. But
yes,
I just remember being like National Lampoon's, I don't know, just clown car, open the door and everything falls out. But it's been a great experience over the years. Obviously, love supporting Foundations Inc. and the Beyond School Hours, and it's been, you guys have been great to us, and so we're going to continue supporting you.
Thank you. And
Yes.
then, oh, there's somebody that says we would love to have you at MOSAC, M-O-S-A-C, the Missouri After School Conference in person in November.
All right. Well, I
I
believe
don't know.
I've reached out to Mosaic in the past, and so November, I think I can handle that. So
Yes.
just yeah, my email, I can send that to me on here. It's bill@STEMfinity.com. So very simple. So yeah, just shoot me an email with details. And if anybody here too has questions about anything, feel free to reach out. Having been in the after school market or area for so long, a lot of people, you know, a good network of friends out there. And so love to be able to get on the road and see you guys more.
So there's another question from the chat. What was your inspiration to start STEMfinity?
So I think I might have touched on it a little bit earlier, but it goes back to the accessibility and exposure. Like I said, I didn't come from much. I mean, a farm, I had to work for everything that I've earned over the years. And so, you know, some kids are fortunate to have a lot of these tools, but I wasn't. Like I said, I had my little Lego kit and some dirt, so not much to work with. Just mainly the kids that don't have access to these tools or haven't been exposed, how are they supposed to know they want to be a scientist or an engineer if they never have a chance to explore that? So that was my inspiration, is to get hands-on. I learn best by doing hands-on, and I feel there's other kids out there that were the same way. And there's now tons of research that supports that kids learn best by doing versus seeing on the laptop or computer.
Right. So there's another question, and I think you touched on this a little bit, but what was your favorite story from your time so far at STEMfinity?
Oh, wow, that's my favorite story.
Your favorite story?
Well, there's been a lot of hurdles over the years. So I guess a big part of our growth over the years has been at trade shows like Beyond School Hours. And so that in order to grow, we had to be in front of the people, but there's just so many conferences that not Beyond School Hours where everything just falls apart and like your shipment doesn't arrive. And so there's been many conferences where I'm standing there with a robot and a business card. And it's like you can't plan for it. You just you plan for it, hoping everything's there. But sometimes things just don't work out. So just like all the educators out there, you just kind of roll with it. Yes. You know, you're dealt this, so let's figure it out. Yep.
And then what is one thing you wish you knew when you started STEMfinity?
I wish I would have asked for help. There's a lot of times I'm a doer, not an asker, and so in hindsight, I would have asked for more help. Instead, I was working all hours of the night, and you know, the first 2 years I would average about 3 nights of no sleep, and you can imagine the toll and the stress that puts on a body. So I was so just reaching out, and you know, there's professionals out there that would love to help, and I didn't ask for help. I just nose to the grindstone. Yep.
So going back to Beyond School Hours, what is your best Beyond School Hours memory? And then they asked both, it's for both of us, but I want you to answer first.
Okay, and I apologize, this is rather embarrassing, but before I answer that, so one of my kindergarten son so he's going to the bathroom. The restroom's over here, and I told him to go upstairs, but he's down here. So we're gonna hear a flush sound here in just a second. So I'm prepping you guys for that. But best times at Beyond School Hours,
Your best memory. Best
memory. It goes back to like we were asking before, where I'm trying to pinpoint one experience. I really cover my so you guys can hear the flushing. Right. No, okay. Kids, but I don't know. You guys have always put it on the conference in some amazing locations, and so and you brought in some amazing, inspirational people as speakers and guests. I don't know. I've seen, you know, just a long list of I don't know if we call them celebrities, but there's been a lot of people that way that been able to hear their story and learn from, and also just being able to be at these conferences and learn, you know, what's working, what's not working for the after school professionals. So it's hard to pinpoint. Like it's typically in a beautiful location, and obviously the people, the team at Foundations are awesome. They welcome you with open arms, and it's just a fun, uplifting, loving environment.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Well, we have my best memories. First of all, we had some amazing people, celebrities and not celebrities, come through and keynote for us or just show up as surprises. And I'm typically not one to get, you know, I don't know, just so like, oh my God, this is so and so. I'm so happy that I don't get like that. So, but my best memory is meeting Maya Angelou. And she came to our conference 3 times.
Obviously, she liked you guys as well.
She loved us. She loved us. But it was amazing. It was an amazing experience meeting her, because the staff got to meet her privately for a little bit, and just to be in her presence was amazing. And she spoke fluent Spanish to me, which I was wowed about. And she was telling us about all the different languages that she spoke, and I was in awe of her. That was my best memory. I mean, we have a lot of wonderful people that we meet. Again, our keynote speakers, our speakers, and all the attendees that come through. But meeting Maya Angelou was by far my favorite favorite time.
And talk about inspirational for sure. And that's where you can't go wrong. And you know, it's just to interact with all these people, and like I said, all the professionals that are there. Just many great experiences, and I have some lifelong friends from these conferences, including you. So it's one that just appreciate you guys putting on the event every year, and every year it improves and gets better too.
Yes, I can't wait till 2022.
Oh yes.
So hopefully everyone will be there to enjoy our wonderful conference in sunny Florida at the same time. So does anybody else have any questions for Bill?
Hi. Yeah, so one of the things that I missed getting together in person this year. You know, a virtual conference just isn't the same, and it's just like you miss the energy of the people in the room, and the interactions with everybody, and it's putting on the conference is a lot of hard work, but then there's this payoff of, like, you know, getting to see everybody. We love spending time with our exhibitors and our presenters and all of who come from across the country and around the world now. That's the exciting thing. It's like people are coming from everywhere.
Didn't we have someone from Brazil attend at one point? And
Iceland, and Canada, and you know, we get
Hawaii, Puerto Rico.
So it's just a lot of fun, and we're really grateful, Bill, that you've been with us for so long, and we're really looking forward to being back again in person in 2020, February 23rd through the 26th. I hope everybody will join us, and we appreciate everybody's time today. Thanks for coming out and spending time with us to learn a little bit more about STEMfinity and Bill's background. And so Bill, I also have a college freshman who just finished, who is studying marketing too. So I didn't know you had kids that old. I
started early.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
not so early, but like, yeah.
Yes.
So
but it is one that, but it's just fun watching, you know, grow to be, you know, respectful adults. So,
Yeah.
But no, thank you for putting this on. It's been great chit chatting and also get to know you two a little more. So it's because sometimes at the booth, it's just go and never get to
Right.
dive deep into things. So but I appreciate everybody's time today. And this is the first one, Rennie. So now you got to keep this thing going,
Oh gosh.
I know. This has been great. Well, we hope that everybody will stay tuned and join us for our webinar series. We'll be doing them every Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And Paula has put a link for the survey in the chat. So please take a minute to fill out a survey. Let us know how we can improve. And if you need a certificate of attendance, that's there for you as well. So we just want to thank everybody for coming out today and joining us for this Vendorina show, the first ever Vendorina show.
Yes, and we expect a game show too next time. So
right. We'll work on that.
Yeah. We'll have to figure that out. How are we going to repeat the exhibitor squares in person?
You need like virtual curtains for to walk through and come out.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
We'll get started on that.
Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Rennie. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Bill, so much for joining me on the Vendorina show.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.